All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 167. Today on the show, a new anti-Semitism bill is trying to pass. We're going to say all the offensive stuff before it's illegal. Then, campus protests are heating up as the Biden administration is considering bringing Palestinian refugees here. We'll tell you why that's a bad idea. Then in Urban Decay, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser is very proud of this stat out of DC this week. We're going to tell you what it is. And last but not least, White Boys Summer is basically upon us. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 167, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. This week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Fume. Now, guys, cold turkey is great for sandwiches, but it's not always the best approach when it comes to breaking your bad habits. And I'm not saying you should be doing any crazy voodoo or trying to hypnotize yourself or cast spells, because technically that would be witchcraft. I'm talking about using the fantastic flavored air device from our partners over at Fume. Now, Fume has a different approach when it comes to breaking your bad habits because they realize that not all parts of your habits are bad. So instead of making drastic, unsustainable changes, Fume just removed bad from your habit. The award-winning flavored air device from Fume does just that. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy, and it makes replacing your bad habits easy. Plus, as a listener of the show, you'll also get 10% off when you use code Fleccas at checkout. Thank you to Fume for sponsoring. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Fume for sponsoring.
Thank you, Fume.
It's always good to get rid of your bad habits, and Fume definitely helps. All right, speaking of bad habits, we can kind of get right into the show. We have a pretty packed episode, lots of protest stuff this week, campus action.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but pretty packed episode. Light on the cringe, a little light in the urban, but we're going to go heavy in housekeeping.
Okay. Urban's pretty packed.
Urban's pretty packed.
Yeah.
Not even true.
Take it back.
I take it back.
He lies.
All right, let's cover something that just came across our desk yesterday. Can you give this a read? Read the Jesse Kelly tweet first and then the Gabby Gabs response, please.
Yeah. Jesse Kelly said, "What if I told you that one of the Biden children is a complete grease fire and is being protected by the Secret Service and the media, and that child is not Hunter?" And then Gabby Gabs comes in and she says, "It's Ashley Biden and her trips to a crack house in Philly. Won't reveal sources. That's all I can say."
Wow.
So we have to throw an allegedly out there. We just told you guys the virtues of allegedly and how much heavy lifting an allegedly can actually do last week.
Big allegedly section.
So, but rings true to me, kind of vibing it out. And, you know, that's someone in the Biden family with some traumatic past. Right?
Yes, that is the Ashley Biden that was the owner of the diary.
Yeah.
Where she took inappropriate showers with Joe Biden. So, and she was a child, so obviously she's the victim in that sense.
Yep.
It could make sense that person maybe has a crack or a drug problem later in life. Mm-hmm. So we wish them the best, but keep an eye out for this story. Yeah. We're early on this. It sounds like this is going to be hitting the main papers and the main media in the next few weeks, maybe.
5 months. 5 months.
They
when
might
it starts
hold
to
it.
trickle out. Yeah.
They might hold it till after the election's done.
Exactly.
Do Joe a favor. You know how it is. But don't forget how they treat Trump's children. They were accusing Trump Jr. of doing cocaine all the time.
Oh, yeah. And then they found actual cocaine in the White House.
And they go,
no, that's nothing.
we don't care anymore about
Look at
that.
Don Jr. He's sniffling on camera.
That might be it. But the literal cocaine, you can ignore that. Secret Service will put it away for you. All right. Speaking of, let's get into some January 6th stuff.
Yeah.
There was a new article that just came out that basically said that there were undercover cops and FBI agents at the event inciting people.
Yeah.
And they got in trouble for it, but it's just a slap on the wrist. Can you give some of the details?
Yeah, this is the headline: Undercover DC police officer disciplined for participation in January 6th riot. And basically, this guy was absolutely just tapped on the wrist. They didn't even slap him. They go, "Here, I touched your wrist. That counts." He had a 10
good.
Yeah, I know. He was like, "Oh, I like that." They had a 10-day suspension for participating in the January 6th riot. He was disciplined for violating general orders relating to undercover operations during January 6th insurrection. 5 out of the 10 days of suspension were taken out of accrued leave, and the other 5 were held in abeyance. Basically, the lightest touch on the wrist ever, but the main crux of this is this guy who whoever's writing this article believed his name is Tomasula. He had encouraged the crowd at the Capitol on January 6th with shouts of "keep going" and "go, go, go," while operating in an undercover capacity. So usually, if you're the undercover police officer and it's like they're swarming, it's like, "Freeze, I'm the undercover cop."
Caught you.
That's when you blow your cover. But instead he said, "Go, go,
He
go."
was undercover in that he wasn't showing that he was a cop, and then what he was doing with his off-duty-ness was just saying, "Go inside, go, go, go," which is entrapment?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Doing something you wouldn't usually do because you got encouraged by a cop? I don't know.
Exactly.
Close.
Extenuating circumstances. And so basically another piece of this is this all came to light during the prosecution of some guy named Phi Duong, a January 6th defendant. And the filing of that described how an unnamed MPD undercover officer, later understood to be the same guy, Tomasula, had met with Duong and followed up with him to insert an undercover FBI agent into a loosely affiliated unnamed group of like-minded individuals. So we have a undercover police officer inciting, and then we have him also assisting with an undercover FBI agent. So a little bit of both.
No solitary for these guys.
Yeah, these guys are, 10 days off work. He probably went to the vineyard. He probably he went boating or something.
10 days off work. 5 of those days don't worry about. So it's like a one business week.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably paid too.
And meanwhile, there's like literal solitary confinement January 6 people. And Trump actually just recently said he would consider pardoning all of them. So
good.
Yeah.
We need that. All right, let's move on.
Pardoning all of them and then punishing the cops. And then Trump has to point out these cops who are undercover. So
yeah, we are on the same page here on the show that it's revenge season. It's not hey, let's just let bygones be bygones and let's just go about our way.
Yeah.
It's revenge season or everyone's dead. If Trump doesn't win and get revenge on everybody, we're all going to jail.
You'll be killed by an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You'll have your house raided by the FBI and you'll be zip tied and brought to jail and you'll be walked outside at 4 a.m. with like a towel on and you're going to look fat.
And then you're going to look fat and then actually CNN got the tip.
Yeah.
So CNN's outside filming the raid.
And it's going to be a real Tony Soprano shit.
I know. Not even a bathrobe. It's going to be bad.
That's why you have to sleep with your clothes on if you're
sleep in a tie.
if you're an enemy of the state.
If you're teetering on FBI wanted lists, yeah.
You got to sleep with clothes on because they're going to exactly. And then they're going to shoot your dog too. So you might want to put your dog in the crate at night so they can't just come in and blast Jerry.
Absolutely. Jerry now. Oh, it is specific to you. Okay.
Well, not everyone's going to look fat in the 4 a.m. raid. All right, let's get into some good stuff. This is great news for the show because we are obsessed with gay and trans people. There's a new LGBT flag that just dropped.
Yeah, introducing the new and improved LGBTQ plus pride flag. No, this is not satire. And what are some of the things you see here?
Well, I see they added a penetrated butthole.
Yeah.
That's first.
There's a sharp object going through a
butt. A loose butt.
Yeah. A
gay butt.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's some sort of beach umbrella.
Yeah, there's an umbrella, which I don't even think we can talk about it on the show, but obviously it gets slippery. It gets disgusting with what they're doing.
You want to be in the shade you're...
I know. What are you doing? Oh, no.
All kinds of horrible shit.
It's bad. Yeah, and then so I did a reverse image search of this for... I was trying to decipher. There's no code for this, right? And it says the LGBTQIA plus intersex, trans, non-binary, POC, sex work, HIV and AIDS, disability, inclusive diversity pride flag. So they're just adding everybody. And I think that's what the umbrella shape is. It's a big umbrella. Anybody can come in as long as you're a little fucked up.
As long as you're not a straight white guy.
Pretty much.
Kind of everybody but.
They take a lot of gay white guys, though. They're like, come on, don't be straight.
True. That's a good point. And then they encourage and teach them as children to recruit.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, this is Big Mike's new picture. Michelle Obama had one on Tom Hanks's boat or something.
Yeah, this is old, though. That's a little bit old. They always are vacationing with, like, Tom Hanks and, like, Bruce Springsteen they're friends with. So,
Look at that legs.
yeah, you know.
I'm not making fun of a lady.
Yeah.
'Cause that's rude.
Yeah.
But if it is a man, I can make fun of pretty much all the guys, right? And that's the poetic justice or whatever. What's it called? Poetic license?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Creative license.
Yeah.
There's something.
I'm staying away from this personally.
Good. Smart move. Take the high road, Richard.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
All right. Moving on. There's a new Trump Time article that just came out. They gave him the devil horns on the cover of the magazine.
With the M?
Yeah, with the M. That's what they
Classic.
do. And this one was good because Trump was talking about the anti-white sentiment happening in this country, which obviously is worse than ever and has been a problem for a long time. So it's good to hear the big man talking about it. Can you give a read from the highlights?
Yeah, he said there's definitely an anti-white feeling in the country, he tells Time, and that can't be allowed either. And he also said Donald Trump thinks he's identified a crucial mistake of his first term. He was too nice.
That's what we were saying about
Consistent with revenge season, right?
It is absolutely revenge season. And then obviously the media is, at this point, it's full-on regime propaganda everywhere you look. And to show that and prove that, it's kind of good to look at who the actual writers are.
Yeah.
And then you look at the writers and who they are and what they do, and then you can kind of decide, would I ever listen to this person in real life about anything?
Just eyeball test.
Yeah, exactly. And we have here the Politico writer who's been going crazy anti-Trump, and he's a catty, certain individual.
Yeah.
Can you kind of give a little highlight here? Raheem had a good insight here.
Yeah, this was from Raheem. He said, I've been wondering why Politico's playbook has been sounding less newsy and more bitchy for a while now. So I looked up its relatively new lead author, Eugene Daniels. I guess we're calling it Politico's gay book now. All right. That's pretty low-hanging fruit, Raheem.
No,
but
it's not.
that's on par with what we're up to.
We're not above that.
So, yeah, I mean, we're below it. We were just talking about the butthole flag.
Yeah.
So here's some pictures of him. He's got access to Kamala. He's always in his stupid outfit.
He's in some twink shit. He's a flag guy. He's part of the flag.
Yeah, this is twink maxing, absolutely. He's always crouching down.
Daddy boy shit.
Real daddy boy shit, but I think he's the boy. And then, of course, he's got, some sort of white husband?
Yeah, his husband.
His husband. So, Politico, you can basically just close out of any tab that you open accidentally. That's Politico.
That's exactly what we were going to say. Like, that's the whole point here. This person's forming opinions on behalf of Politico, like a pretty major news site.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, when was the last time you listened to a gay, fat, black communist? Don't really need that person for anything.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you have I have a council of thought leaders, and it's like, I'm the gay, fat, black communist. And it's like, no, you're not in here. I actually don't even need your input. So
yeah, we don't need any of that. And that's what the left likes to do. They like to do the identity politics. So whenever there's a gay, fat something, they like to shove them in there, especially if they're people of color.
he's at the front. His opinion matters actually more to them.
Yeah.
We're talking about throwing it out completely, and they're elevating it. So
And yeah, exactly. It doesn't even matter. It's just like his identity comes first. And then the GOP, whenever I talk to people in the government or working in the government, everyone always tells me, oh, Trump needs to pick a person of color for VP or a woman or someone who sucks other dudes.
Yeah.
It always has to be something like diverse. And I think that's a huge mistake. And I saw this tweet from Lauren that really kind of summed it up for me. This is how I feel as well.
she said, I want a straight white male for Trump's VP, not a woman, not a hand-selected POC, not a homosexual. Despite being told differently, diversity is not our strength, and it should not be forced into the White House in an attempt to appease the DEI mob.
That's exactly it.
You can't play their game,
Can't
right?
play their game. It doesn't. What's it going to help us with?
And soon a double white straight male ticket will be like, oh my God, the good old days. Like, it's going to become like we're in the fight right now where they think that's not good, but soon it's going to be a bygone era and people are going to yearn for it, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And earlier in the week on Tuesday's episode, I was saying how it's good that Ron DeSantis is back in the fold.
Yeah.
And, he still has some making up to do. Let's just say that. We revealed Ron to be a slimier dude than we thought. And he needs to start doing some real MAGA shit if he wants to come fully back in. So I know I was saying that he could maybe be the VP and that'd be a good thing. I'm not fully there yet. He may be in the discussions and whatever, but I don't fully trust Ron just yet. I was just being polite because he's talking to Trump again and being supportive of the campaign.
Okay. He just banned lab-grown meat in Florida. Did you see that one?
I did see that.
So, I don't know.
That's
I like
good.
Ron. I'm going to continue with my I like Ron. But
I just don't like the billionaires he associates with because they're not on our side. And then if they're on his side, they're planning to use him as a piece in the chess game against us.
Yeah, Ken Griffin thought he could buy him. So, I mean, what does
Ken
that say?
Griffin's still playing.
Yeah, he didn't. He's not hanging up the cleats.
So let's see what happens. Obviously, we talked about this the other day. JD Vance is looking good. Talked about that in Bonus Land. I like him. I would like Bannon or Tucker, but that's
Pipe dream, stupid shit. Yeah.
But, when a lot of people see some gay VP and they go, I'm not going to vote this time. But if they see Steve Bannon and Trump, they might come out of the woodwork to vote.
It's definitely consistent with I was too nice revenge tour ethos. So,
wow. If we can get everyone hyped on revenge tour, that's it. Yeah. All right, page 2 of Housekeeping. This is our protest section. There was a lot of protest action across the country on college campuses. First one is the black cop that was splashed with water. This is the college kids that are throwing the water on them. Remember last episode I said, if you want to de-escalate or not have things escalate out of control, send black police officers to the front line because these college kids will be in a conundrum where they're not going to know what to do. They need to stand up for oppressed people, but they're not going to sucker punch a black cop. Then it makes them actually not escalate. And it kind of worked here.
What I can tell you is that this is a very intense escalation from how it has been for the past several hours. There was a rally and
silent
splash
in the face, but that's it.
That's it. Doesn't escalate. It's not a concrete-filled milkshake. They're not really trying to gut him.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, take this water.
Exactly. And then we're going to have...
That's from Politico.
We're going to have some of the stuff playing in the background, the B-roll of just like the general violence at UCLA. There's a guy who got pepper sprayed, and he got his eyes washed out. Let's play that one.
Open your eyes, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Look up, open your eyes. You're going to be okay, you're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay. You got pepper sprayed a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay. That's who's trying to, decolonize the country?
Yeah.
That's why they need the illegals as their muscle, because they don't have the muscle right now.
Yeah, you need reassurance because you got pepper sprayed. You're going to be fine. That's actually a leftist baptism right there. That's a religious experience for them.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So,
and then we have the lunatic professor from the CUNY school, CUNY Community University,
New York school system, right?
Yeah.
Homemade rocket launchers. The Palestinian Air Force. Shout out the Palestinian Air Force. Shout out the drones. Shout out the paragliders. No, we can't be shy about this. We can't be shy about talking about this. Shout out the resistance. The resistance storming that wretched border wall on October 7th. They are doing their resistance and they are freeing themselves and in turn freeing us.
Interesting take.
Yeah.
I never heard the pro-October 7th take.
And that's the thing, too. These guys aren't righteous or holier than thou or anything. They want to use all the same. Like, if they had Israel's military, they'd be like, yeah, keep bombing. But they just don't have it, And that's the power dynamic there. So, I mean, and then this is starting to smell like a Fed setup for them. Yeah. It's like you're clapping and he's like, and shout out to October 7th, drone gliders. And it's like, I'm still clapping. And it's like, gotcha.
Yeah. This is a Fed CIA type.
Yeah. But he is actually a professor as far as we know for now. And he's here on a visa, right?
Yeah.
So
he's a professor who teaches American college students.
Yeah. So hopefully the FBI is rolling up and the visa people are going, hey, what was that you said on camera loudly?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to the next clip of the two girls that are talking about how college needs to be dismantled as we know it.
I think it's more than divestment as well. I think given the fact that the University of California is founded on colonialism, it's inherently a violent institution. there needs to be an addressment of U.S. imperialism and its ties to the UC system and how it perpetuates war and violence abroad. Not only abroad, but also here, locally. We see this with the brutality, the police brutality that black and brown students face here at UCLA, Arab students, Muslim students.
You get the point. Yeah. You just got to nuke everything. We have to start from zero.
Yeah, they got radicalized in college, and it got to the point where they're now saying the college is the problem. It's like that's where you were allowed to get radicalized.
That's who taught you this stuff,
where you got
right?
the idea from.
Yeah.
And obviously these people have no muscle, which we've been talking about.
Yeah. There's not a henchman amongst them.
Yeah.
They just they count on like overwhelming numbers. Mm-hmm. Nobody's like a tough fighter in here.
And they like to be the victim. So when the cops pepper spray and then all the attention goes to open your eyes, you're going to be okay. They think that's like they're LARPing.
Yeah.
They're in a war.
Again, it's fun. They like the battle. They like to think they're freedom fighters in some great grand scheme, but they're really just in Southern California in like great weather at like a really expensive school.
Yeah.
UCLA.
UCLA.
You know how much UCLA costs?
It's so nice there.
It's beautiful.
That's pretty good. And then Owen Benjamin had a tweet that really summed up the whole situation. It's a little long, but Rapway's a good reader.
All right, don't set me up for failure. He said, you can be against the actions of Israel on the Palestinian people in Gaza and also not support these protests. What I'm seeing is the emotions around Gaza being harnessed nefariously by forces that want to weaken and destroy American institutions. Many of the people in these protests want American territory to be reclaimed by Mexico, or they just want chaotic destruction. And any hesitation with going along with their pathology means you want Palestinian kids to die. It's very manipulative. Interestingly, protests like this are forbidden in Islam. Making choices and actions based on emotion is condemned in Islam. Nothing about these protests will free anyone. The enemy of your enemy does not necessarily make a friend. It could just be a worse enemy or your enemy wearing a mask. Just something to think about.
Very good point.
Yeah, I mean, you're implicitly agreeing, and that's what I said about this professor. Like, you're in the crowd, like, yeah, free Palestine, this isn't right. And he goes, thank God those terrorists flew in on the hang gliders. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But this whole thing is an operation. We've kind of been saying that for a while. George Soros is funding aspects of it.
Yeah.
And the Columbia...
green tents.
The green tents.
You see all those green tents? Every campus has the same green tent.
That's weird.
They bought them in bulk. George got a good discount, you know, when George pulls up.
And it's an election year.
Yeah.
So what's this year's BLM? Oh, it's that.
Yeah.
And then at Columbia, they had over 300 people arrested, and more than half of them were not students.
Yeah. You want me to read it? It's just...
Does it say exactly that?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got it on
without
there.
reading. So congratulations.
So there's something to think about. It's not necessarily all college students. There are their little operatives within the group.
Yeah. Hey, some people are just waiting on the bench. They're like, what's next? What's my next little thing, my grievance? And then they come out and then they'll throw the brick.
Yeah.
And then you get suspended. That's the funny part about this, too, is a lot of these students are seniors and it's graduation season. So they're like, I just done all my classes. Then, you almost had it. Nope.
Oh, man. Imagine not graduating from Columbia because in the last week of school, you had to stand up for the thousands-year-old blood feud in the Middle East.
You got tricked a little bit, you know?
That's pretty good.
It's pathetic, but then it also is like, okay, you shouldn't have graduated anyway. You're kind of like your decision-making and risk assessment is horrible.
Yeah, it's
right?
called you're a retard.
Yeah, it's called brain dead. You listen to Muppets.
Well, don't worry. It actually gets worse. The Biden administration is thinking about bringing Palestinian refugees here. Can you give that headline a read?
Yeah, President Biden is considering bringing Palestinian refugees from Gaza into the United States as refugees, according to CBS. And I think this was from multiple U.S. agencies that were kind of discussing it. So we're in the preliminary stages. And I think some of them who have made their way to Egypt are like going to be the first ones in. So
Lucky us.
Yeah, thank God for us.
And then we talked about this weeks and maybe even months ago at this point, because Netanyahu was saying the West in America needs to absorb all these refugees from Palestine. And we were saying how crazy that is, and it makes no sense. But then Ben Shapiro and those types weren't really going against Netanyahu and calling it out. Mm-hmm. And we were saying for weeks and weeks, like, they're going to try and bring these refugees here.
Yeah.
And when they do, we're going to be importing a bunch of terrorists. Here's actually some stats. There was a poll done among Palestinians on their views of the U.S. Look at these numbers.
Yeah, it was conducted by the Arab World for Research and Development after October 7th. So
Okay.
soon, recent.
Like a couple months ago.
Yeah, 97.6% viewed the U.S. very negatively. 76% viewed Hamas positively. 75% supported October 7th.
But Netanyahu says absorb him. We're probably going to listen. He also said shut down the college protests. We listened to that. So all we do is
He's
listen.
powerful. Is he president?
He's president of the world, it seems like. So we're about to listen again, unfortunately. But it's been their plan all along.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't want to get negative or, spiral, but it seems like we bring in these refugees and then what? They blow something up and then it justifies some sort of World War III or military action in the Middle East on behalf of Israel.
Sure sounds about right to me.
If I was writing a script for a movie that was really real life,
Yeah.
it would probably be something like that.
And you just broke the anti-Semitism bill, buddy. The FBI's coming. Wear your suit to sleep tonight.
Well,
the FBI is coming.
wear your suit to sleep.
Yeah.
There is a situation coming. This anti-Semitism bill. You're absolutely right. This might be the section that gets me in jail because we're going to go kind of hard. Can you read what the anti-Semitism bill is proposing, which has already been passed in the House? Remind everybody.
Yeah, which is crazy. And I've never seen a bill that was less like if you asked polled American people, like, what are your top 5 issues? Like abortion. I believe it. People get riled up for abortion. Taxes.
Border.
Trade, international trade, like 50 things come before
Inflation.
come before mean words about Israel. So it's like the most lobbyist bill you've ever seen in your entire life, and they're just trying to sneak it in, right?
Yeah.
And so things that would be against the law, they're outsourcing the definition of anti-Semitism to this like weird organization. So the definition of anti-Semitism isn't even in the bill.
It's whatever Israel says it is.
Basically, or a proxy of Israel. So who's running what? So here are some of the like bullet points: denying the Jewish people their right to self-determination by claiming that the existence of the state of Israel is a racist endeavor. So you can't even say Israel can't exist. Applying double standards by requiring of it a behavior not expected or demanded of any other democratic nation. So you can't even just shit talk double standard Israel as a bit. Using the symbols and images associated with classic anti-Semitism, example, claims of Jews killing Jesus or blood libel to characterize Israel or Israelis, drawing comparisons of contemporary Israeli policy to that of the Nazis.
So it's almost about to be illegal to criticize Israel. So before that happens, I think it's time to get everything in that we can.
Get some slander out.
Get some slander out. But we're going to do a proxy. It's not
Okay.
going to be me just slandering. We're going to make it a feat of chance.
Okay, that's
We're going
fair.
to go with chance.
Okay.
So for example, heads is yes, tails is no.
Okay.
Is Christ king? Yes.
Okay. 1 for 1.
Did Jews kill Jesus? Yes.
Whoa, did it really land?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to our next
I thought it was the Romans. No. I thought the Romans did it.
No, the coin doesn't lie. All right. Are Jews not stingy with money? No.
Oh, wow.
That's
Jeez.
fucked up. This coin's going to go to
That's
jail.
that coin's in trouble.
Do Jewish people rub their hands like this?
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't.
That's very anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Oh, God.
This is crazy.
Well, good thing the bill hasn't passed in the Senate yet because you would be locked up.
And also, I was just going yes or no based on the coin.
That was a lucky 4 in a row, I think. You got pretty much the answers you were planning to do, whether or not it landed on heads or tails. So
I just read yes or I just read what
Okay,
the coin
all right.
said.
Hey.
So that's actually crazy.
that's plausible deniability if I've ever
But
seen it.
I think if I go to jail, I can tell the judge and say, Your Honor, I flipped the coin.
It was a game of chance, Your Honor.
It was a game of chance. Coin never lies. Also, if I go to jail, I'm not going to jail. So if you come to get me,
Don't start with
to
that.
arrest me for saying that, I'm not going to jail.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, this bill just makes everybody more anti-Israel, like speech restrictions, right? It's like you kind of tipped your hand or something. It's like, wait, what did you just try to fucking do in America? Like, we have rules for encouraging violence in speech, and that's basically it.
Especially exactly that.
Like,
And
you can be a crackhead yelling in the public square about Jews, blacks, Mexicans, whatever you want, and you're good, pretty much. So it's very fascinating that just one group is off limits.
yeah, and here on the show, we're equal opportunity offenders. Blacks, trans, all the LGBT, white people,
Yeah.
Asian people, Indian people,
Oh,
Jews. We get everybody.
Yeah.
But now there's going to be a rule that actually you can't make fun of one group. You're not going to like how we react to that.
exactly.
It's gonna, so we're
We're gonna
not
take it out on Indians.
Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna totally switch.
migrants.
Yeah.
Maybe we just make a new word for them. Let's call them migrants.
Yeah.
These migrants with their predatory loans. All right, last part.
And this is bad because, like, there are Jewish people who are like, what is this about too? You know?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
of
same
course.
thing. So it's not like, it's just a weird lobbyist. Like, at what point have you ever heard someone come out and be like, oh, we really need to stop this and there needs to be laws on the books? Where are these bills even come from? Where are they even formed, you know?
Yeah, we exactly. We need to do a little adjustment on the First Amendment.
Wait a second.
The number one thing?
That's first. That's pretty well defined, right?
First, and like from 400 years ago.
Isn't that so funny? They want to attack the First Amendment and then the Second Amendment. Those are like the two biggest ones that they want to chisel away
Yeah,
at.
seems like you're up to something.
Yeah.
All right, we can't get bogged down. Last piece of this section, the flag defenders. We love to see it. This is the start of White Boy Summer.
Yeah.
There was a flag protected at a few college campuses. It's been
UNC
happening.
was the main one.
UNC was the main one. It's playing here in the background. The boys defended the flag, and then they had a crowdfunder,
GoFundMe. Yeah.
GoFundMe for their frat, and they raised like $300 and something thousand.
Yeah, I think $350 was the last I checked. Bill Ackman donated $10K to it. So they're going to have a rager.
They're going to have a big rager. Happy about that. And I encourage this type of thing. Like on campus, obviously, there's the protesters, and they're trying to ruin everything, and they hate America. They hate our institutions. Because it was built on colonialism or white supremacy or whatever they think, they want to see it be destroyed and burned because that would be the revenge the white people deserve. So keep that in mind. So when you're on campus, you can be an opposing voice with your own opinion, protesting the protest, just like they're doing.
Yeah.
But don't let them January 6 you.
Yeah.
They will have feds, they will have operatives that are going to try and do something or make it look like the good guys, the frat kids, are doing something that they're not. So keep your eye out, film. If you feel some vibes are off, make sure you're filming and, keeping an eye on your boys.
Yeah. That guy doesn't even go here. And then
Yeah.
he throws a brick and starts it. So
Exactly. And then there's this meme that we're going to end this section on. There's actually two things. The physiognomy of a protester.
Yeah, the Telegraph reported square-jawed citizens are more likely to vote for conservative candidates, while those with a slender, impish face lean to the left, according to a new study.
Impish face.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Can't relate.
We didn't need the study.
Yeah, and that's like a euphemism for a white person, or like a Trump supporter.
What do you
Square
mean?
draw.
Yeah.
Instead of saying how they always defend the black criminals. Manic puncher. Square draw individual.
Square-jawed citizens.
Yeah. And then our last thing on this section.
It's just German people.
Yeah, is the meme here, which way? And on the left, it says, do nothing, die out, still be called racist, save Western civilization, be called racist.
Either way, you're getting called racist, right?
Either way, you're getting called racist.
So yeah, that's one of the bigger things. You have to just not care and be like, okay, you called me racist, but you're that twink from Politico. Okay, you called me a white guy, but you're that weird hidden Jewish lady on campus protesting, right? It's like you got to remember who the messenger is and how they're trying to undermine you. And also back to your point about colonialism and stuff, it's like you could have the Fleccas Talks Children's Hospital where everyone gets free money, and if it's built on colonialism, then it's still bad according to their ideology because they're not them.
Exactly.
So fucked up.
That's a good point. My last thing about the protesters, you know how George Soros those types, they're always beta testing and doing warm-up trial runs for protesting and organizing before like the main thing happens.
It's like Wendy's. They roll out a burger in the Midwest first, Cleveland, Chicago, whatever, the test markets, and then they go nationwide. It's the same exact principle, right?
Exactly. So I was thinking we could do that ourselves. If you're in New York City, and say this is allegedly. Okay, so this is allegedly. If you're in New York City and you went to whatever that park is, Washington Square Park probably, where all those African migrants are standing around, what if you got like a bus of like 50 of them and said, hey, we're going on a trip. Here's $20 each. It would cost $1,000, but here's $20 each. Everyone on the bus, 50 of us, we're going up to Columbia.
Okay.
And then you drop them off at Columbia with all the emotional women and homosexuals.
Okay.
And you see how it goes.
All right.
And then they'll go, oh, we're fighting for you. And they don't even speak English. And they see like a trans person. They're probably not going to like it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like in a conflict with themselves because the people they're fighting for are like low IQ and hate them.
Yeah.
So it's something that would be kind of cool in my mind. A little experiment, it's called.
See if the water and oil mix.
Yeah, and then we'll just collect the data. And then it's like if they get along and then the migrants start doing violence on behalf of the protesters, it's like,
back away.
That's what's going to happen.
No more bus trips.
But if it goes the other way, and then it's like, all right, we could do it some more. Allegedly.
Yeah.
All right, last piece of housekeeping.
Allegedly didn't even really work there, but I'll allow it.
Allegedly just means...
Yeah, the coin allegedly flipped exactly which way you wanted it.
That is true. All right, our last piece of housekeeping. This is a random piece of information. First of all, this dog looks like a person.
There he is.
That's important. Look at that.
Done. Look
I
at
don't
his
want
human
that
eyes.
in my house.
I mean, somebody photoshopped that, right?
Yeah.
That's not a real dog.
That's good. I learned this the other day. Dogs sniffing. Dogs sniff.
Okay.
You know dogs sniff?
Oh, I'm very familiar.
Dogs sniff. They love to sniff. 15 minutes of dog sniffing is equivalent, when it comes to tiring the dog out, to 45 minutes of dog walking. Because the sniffing makes their brain go crazy.
Really?
And it burns a ton of energy.
Interesting.
So whenever I'm walking the dog, he sniffs, I let him sniff. If he sniffs too much, I'm kind of like, all right, let's go. We got to get walking so you get tired. The sniffing actually makes him more tired.
That's good intel.
It's good intel.
I hope someone who's a dog expert kind of fact checks that, but let us know.
True. It's
Okay.
true. All right. We are done with housekeeping. We're moving on to Cringe of the Week. Our first clip of Cringe of the Week is actually a story, a headline, that the new Snow White evil queen is trans.
Yeah, Snow White's evil queen being played by transgender biological male at Disney World Resort in Florida.
That actually kind of works.
You can't make a normal woman as freakish and evil as you can if it was a man instead, so...
And it's good programming for the kids to kind of have it wired in their brain that when a man looks like a woman, it's the evil bad guy.
That's the witch. That's the witch who will get you. They snatch you up. So I'm actually okay with that. That's like the one role that they probably should play.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think that's cool. All right, we are moving to our next section. This lady thinks white men are the most dangerous parts of society.
This was an addendum to the men versus bears. Who would you rather be with in a forest, men versus bears? You know how high class that dialogue has been, and you know how women have been operating unemotionally and all that.
Rational.
We are talking specifically about white men. And I'm just going to say it. Fucking unapologetically going to say it. White men are the most dangerous species in the entire fucking world to women and to everyone else. So we can reframe, right? Men want to be like, not all men. It's always a white man that fucking says that, by the way. Not all men are like that. Okay, so let's reframe the question. Would you rather be trapped in the woods with a white man or a black man? A white man or an Arab man? A white man or an Asian man? A white man or an Italian man? This one might be tough. A white man or a Frenchman?
All right. We get the point.
White men are the problem.
White men are
She
the
goes
problem.
on to say, like, I'll bite you or something, and like, and she thinks she's a badass or something.
And like, she would be correct if she was talking about trans women, white men who became a lady. Then I'd be like, yeah, I would not.
They're dangerous.
They're dangerous.
They might snap.
Wouldn't want to be in the woods with one of them. But
I like how she's kind of actually at a different level of racism than anyone else. She separates Italians and even French.
Yeah, That's different.
Okay, lady. I see what you're up to.
Some Ellis Island shit.
That's Ellis Island shit, but you made the wrong choice still throughout the whole video. So you're aware of it, but not making the correct choice.
And it's a consistent theme we see with these types, these liberal women. They don't only have it wrong, they have it dead backwards.
Yeah.
That's like a huge consistent theme that we see. Clearly, this person doesn't watch all the way through Urban Decay.
I know. She's never even seen Urban Decay, maybe.
Yeah. And we actually do have some stats. First of all, she said Indian or white or Asian or white, which is Indian. And here's the stat for the number of people in India who shit openly.
Who defecate in the open. And yeah, the dark red is 90 to 100%.
So
there's a lot. So they'd actually be comfortable in the woods.
In the woods, that's actually probably what they do.
Yeah.
And then we actually have some stats because this lady is saying white people are the problem.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are those stats that show that black people tend to be more criminally based.
Yeah, per capita stats don't really look good for them.
But we're going to put those stats in a way that she would maybe present it.
Exactly. Friendly reminder for some of you racists. 67% of black men have never been convicted of a felony. 58% of blacks are not on welfare. 51% of black men age 23 have never been arrested. 23% of black children are born to married parents.
Racist.
Just take that.
Just 23% of black children are born to married parents.
Bad. Very
That's
bad.
very bad.
So yeah, it's backwards and upside down. She takes the inverse approach, and so we gave her the inverse statistics. And this is a white woman just shit-talking white men. Like, there's no race traitor quite like a leftist white woman who's just been programmed.
That's a good point.
Name one other person who would do this to their race. Somalians, Ilhan Omar. You think Ilhan Omar would ever talk like that?
No.
So, you know.
She would not talk like that.
And this is a red-haired woman, too. It's like you're Irish or something. Come on.
Yeah, there's really no reason at this point to be within 10 feet of liberal women. If they work at your job's going to go down eventually. If they're teaching your kids, you're not going to want that. If they go to your college sucks. It's just like she's probably very vaccinated. It's not a good individual. You don't need this person in your life if you're trying to have a good life of freedom.
Yeah. You know, a normal person, when they hear the man versus bear thing, it's like, well, what percent of men are rapists? And he's like, okay, I'll pick the men. That seems like, 99 out of 100, I'll be good?
Yeah.
Great. But then she has to, hate on white people, and that's her life.
And she's just going off vibes because it's not stats, because she even says, white man or a black man, white man or an Asian man. It's like you didn't look it up. You're just saying
she's vibing it, and the vibes are wrong. Yeah. So,
all right, let's go to our next clip, the twink at the wedding.
And again, this is a woman who is far from how the food is made, real hardship, living in a sheltered society, all this free time with her thoughts, right?
Yeah, she has no real struggle in her life.
All right, let's go to the wedding twink, right?
Yep.
There he is. He's like the wedding planner or something. He brings the bride in the...
He's stealing all the hype.
And he's wearing leather pants with a fat, disgusting BBL type ass. And look at his fake face.
Oh, man.
What do you think of this guy?
It's like when the bridesmaids wear white or whatever, and it competes with the bride, and they get mad.
Somebody wears white to the wedding, and all of a sudden, all eyes are on them.
Yeah, he's stealing all the attention.
Yeah.
I know. I'd be just looking at that the whole time. If I was at that wedding, I'd be taking pictures of that.
This guy better not join any Palestinian protests or ever commit a crime, because I think the boys in prison would be
loving him.
Loving that shit. They'd make a new color on the pride flag for him.
All right, let's move on. We are heading into Urban Decay. We have a pretty interesting urban. First, we're going to start off with a little dispute at the bowling alley.
Yeah, they're non-bowlers. Well, I guess you can't call them that if they're at the alley.
Yeah.
There's a fight amongst some African-American women, and this is in Miami. They're throwing stuff. And that was a bowling ball. There's another bowling ball. And here it comes. Here's the slow motion. She slept her.
Oh. So basically, they got into a little fight. Water was thrown.
Mm-hmm.
Then the person said, we're throwing shit.
What's the next thing to throw?
Where's some shit to throw?
I'm at a bowling alley.
Bowling ball. Water and bowling ball are a little different.
Maybe disproportionate use of force there in the fight.
Disproportionate use of force, agreed.
Against the Geneva Convention, perhaps?
And then she hit her own friend.
Yeah, that's the thing that I want to point out.
House ball.
She missed, and she slept her own friend who was fighting with her on that side. I don't know if you guys can tell, but she was arm in arm with this girl and then put her to sleep with a bowling ball.
And that person's now recovering from getting hit in the head with a bowling ball, which is very rare injury.
Yeah,
I don't think
doctors go, how do I handle this? I've never seen this before.
It's similar to a cannon.
Yeah, I guess it's just considered blunt force object, and the doctor goes from there.
Yeah, but seems like a reasonable escalation.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to our next clip. The repeat offender of the week.
Yeah, this just was so notable to me because I've never seen numbers this high. And I think, you know how we kind of keep track of what the smallest dollar amount someone's been shot over? Shot over guac, shot over cold French fries, shot over like a cheeseburger.
$17, Uber Eats.
Exactly. I think we need to now start keeping track of how many arrests and convictions someone has, because this guy, Carl Jerome Hamilton, a career criminal in Nashville with over 105 convictions since 2007. He was just arrested for attacking, kidnapping, and then raping an Amazon delivery woman. I know. So 105, I think that's the highest I've ever seen. I think I saw an 80s or something before, and we've brought it up on the show.
105's high.
105's high. And what
you
do
could
you
have
think?
put him down 100 convictions ago.
I think like that's the thing we talk about, like living in the old times and how hard it was and living in old Western towns or something. This guy would just be put down.
Just go.
He would be simply dead.
And they would have a little stick in the ground and they would just bury him wherever.
And this kind of reminds me of the thing that we've talked about on the show in the past, which is there's nobody advocating for keeping people in prison. There's like the Innocence Project. There's all those organizations that are like for light sentences. And, you know, the 94 crime bill. And if you remember, California used to have the 3 strike laws. And everything got publicized rather, about like, oh, this guy, his 3rd strike, he was down on his luck and he had a pound of weed and now he's doing life. And everyone felt sad for that guy. But who feels sad for society?
Yeah.
It's just like an Amazon low-wage worker in the heat in Nashville delivering packages gets raped by a guy who could have been put down 100 times ago.
Yeah, and they emotionally manipulate everyone with those one-off stories of the guy who was just smoking a joint.
Yeah.
And now he's in jail for life. And they use those stories, but then this is who actually benefits from the change in laws.
Yeah. And then again, tenant of the show, iceberg theory, 105 convictions. So that means, I think, what do we multiply it by? 8? 8x?
He's at least over 500.
He's at least over 500 brutal crimes, right? So, you know, people's empathy that's being abused against them is leading to women getting attacked and raped. And then that number's and then they justify it and they go, everybody's getting raped. And then the redheaded lady from Cringe goes, fucking white men.
Yeah, it's men are doing it.
Yeah. So
I don't want to be specific. All right, let's go to the woman who says shoplifting is fine.
Yeah, this one's bad.
I went to Target to get some alcohol because it's Friday, but I don't have the money to pay for the alcohol. So guess what I did? I was just going to take it. I mean, it's free, right? They put the prices on there, but I think that's just for, like, if you want to pay. It's not mandatory. I mean, if I did see something that I wanted to buy, like, I could have, but I didn't want to. I just wanted the alcohol because I had other plans for the day. Tell me why these motherfuckers, I guess they were just on, like, patrol today because it's a Friday. It's starting to get hot outside. They know how the motherfuckers is around the area. But I wasn't the only person stealing in there. And I could tell you I wasn't the only person stealing in there because when I walked up in that bitch, I saw 2 niggas stuffing chips down their pants, trying to be inconspicuous. Bitch, a thief knows a thief. I see you.
Inconspicuous.
That's a good word for her, actually. Yeah.
You can't spell it.
Certainly can't. I don't know if you can either.
But that, yeah, there you go. Look at all the stuff she does pay for.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see in just this clip alone?
Well, I see nails, very high-end nails.
Blown out lips.
Mm-hmm.
eyelashes.
Yep.
Very straight hair.
Yeah. Almost white woman hair. And
yeah.
you know that's expensive. And the eyelashes these days, that's a new one that just got added on recently.
Mm-hmm.
Eyelash, they're expensive.
I bet.
And so this is kind of like the EBT woman who we covered last week who was pissed paying $50 out of pocket for her groceries, where anything that you can steal or shoplift or easily get, that's not like an expense. But the nail salon, those Asian women will surround you afterwards.
Yeah, and you have to go back every week, and you find a lady you like, so you actually have to pay and not tip.
Exactly, no tip. Exactly. So it's cutting corners on everything that is easily stuffed into a purse or something. But the high maintenance stuff, which is what a lot of these women spend money on, like the PPP loan type people that go to Miami, you can't steal a flight.
Exactly.
So the theft stays on retail stuff, and everything else that they do have to pay for, they get them. So.
And the alcohol, she said, I didn't have the money to pay for it, but like you can see all of the stuff that she has on her face and body is like hundreds of dollars. The hair is a lot, the nails are a lot, eyelashes are a lot. It's all expensive. She pays for that, though. And we have a couple memes here that basically sum up this.
I like how she also said, and there were other people stealing there, too. And it's like, so they have to get 5 people then. You know, they have to arrest. It's Target.
That's why Target's going to close soon.
Yeah. So here's the meme. It's like a black woman who says, oh, a new grocery store near me. I will shoplift until they're forced to close. Why we got to live in food deserts. So it's a very vicious cycle, right?
Yeah, it is it.
Yeah, and then this one is pretty bad. I can't believe you're making me read this.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, I'm a rob that motherfucker, and it's Walmart. And it says, fucking racist motherfucking white people closed after it closes.
Say that?
You're setting me up for a massacre,
wrong with
dude.
this guy?
You're setting me up.
Oh, man.
But I mean, that's true. And it's like, you know, stores don't open or stay open out of the goodwill of their heart. It's actually a board of directors that are pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
It's quite the opposite. It's a senseless, feelingsless organization.
Yeah, it's very much numbers based.
Dollars and cents, yeah.
And then we have the opposite of this situation where there are some communities that are so high trust, you can go shop there, pay, and there's not even a worker. They just trust you to do it.
The other day I came across a self-serve market.
So then he goes inside, and basically it's a full grocery store, and he shows all the stuff, vegetables, all kinds of food. And then when you're done, we're going to kind of fast forward through.
Yeah, there's meat freezers, too.
Yeah.
He's going through all this stuff. Like, there's a lot of valuable merchandise in here. Eggs, milk.
Eggs, jelly, all kinds of fruits and vegetables, tons of meat. If this was in Baltimore, they'd go, they'd have garbage bags. They'd be taking
a stolen shopping cart would be carrying away all of this shit.
And they would empty it in a second. It would ruin some guy's life.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of society I want to live in.
It's very nice that there are still pockets of, I believe that's America, right?
Yeah.
There's still pockets of America that are high trust, and like people know what a valuable thing that is to be able to get fresh meat, and they don't want to ruin it. Whereas certain other communities, they have the how much can I take possible. And, one survives, one doesn't.
And it's not necessarily a race thing. It's a class thing. Because when I go to Martha's Vineyard, I go, yearly, they have those type of self-serve markets. And there's a lot of black people that go to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
So it's not all black people steal. It's just shitty people steal.
Yeah.
And a lot of shitty people...
Yeah, there you go. You made me read those memes. You might as well say it.
Might as well make it even.
Yeah.
But there are some people who are fully trying to leave bad areas, bad urban situations.
Yeah.
In Louisiana, there's a town that's trying to start fresh and just become its own town because half the town is good people, half the town is criminals. Can you read the headline?
Yeah, it's called... here's the headline with a little bit of editorialization from the Daily Mail. Wealthy white Louisiana residents win the right to form their own city and split from poorer black neighborhoods in landmark court ruling after 10-year battle. And this is St. George, Louisiana, which is splitting off from Baton Rouge, which is a famously horribly run city. Like, that's kind of one of the things that I'm thinking. It's like, oh, okay, you want a new city? Okay, how's your parent city right now? Oh, murders? Oh, theft? Everything's sky-high horrible in Louisiana? And St. George, here's one of the things that kind of shocked me. will have 86,000 residents across a 60 square mile area. So it's not small.
Wow.
At all.
There goes all your taxpayers.
And so a lot of leftists are clamoring out about how this is racist and how it'll negatively affect the people who it leaves behind in Baton Rouge. Opponents say the movement is racist and will create a white enclave as it separates a wealthy area of the city from the majority black city and school district.
I don't see what the problem is there.
If everyone's kind of like-minded and has a vision and they want to pool their tax dollars.
It's like capitalism for a town. If you're paying taxes and you're the main tax base and then the entire city is run horribly and there's groups of people doing that who aren't even taxpayers, why wouldn't you separate? I think Buckhead's been trying to do this for a while out of Atlanta.
Yeah, Buckhead in Atlanta, and I think that kind of failed or stalled recently, and they appeased the residents of Buckhead by giving them their own police station. So I'd like to see that kind of go through. But, what's the argument here for people? They just go, oh, that's racist. Why?
Because white folks don't like hanging out with us.
Yeah. Is everyone just retarded who's left and incapable of doing anything? Is that what you're saying? Because that's kind of the implication, right? Nothing will, oh, we're going to have to reduce our services, their sheriff and this. It's there's 86,000 less people. So you are going to have to reduce it.
Yeah. And they want to leave because of all the crime and the poorly run whatever.
Wait, what? There's crime and it's poorly run?
It's we didn't mention race.
Yeah.
We just said that we want to get away from all the crime. And now you're saying that's racist because it's black people?
And then physiognomy check. Here's one of the women who's the leader of the anti-St. George campaign, M.E. Cormier, told New York Times there is no basis in fact that the existence of St. George is positive or will bring positivity or have a positive impact on any areas of the cities or the parish. Look at this lady.
Well, I'd rather live in St. George than Baton Rouge.
Yeah, if I flip the coin. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to.
Though. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what it says.
Is it better to live in St. George or Baton Rouge?
Heads is St. George.
Baton Rouge is tails. St. George.
St. George every time, guys. It's unbelievable.
It is crazy how the coin gets it all right. But it's white flight season, baby.
Yeah, it's white boy summer. It's white flight decade,
Enjoy Baton Rouge. I'm sure it's lovely, especially this time of year. The summer's coming. Baton Rouge in the summer.
Oh, temperatures reaching upwards of 100? I'm sure no one will snap on public transportation.
It's nice and hot and humid.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's lovely.
No, and that's the thing, too. There's this breaking of the social contract, right, that we've talked about previously on the show. I pay all this tax money, and then my schools are shit, and people get beat up, and, I see so little return on my tax dollar. It's is there a better way? Could we just kind of band up and do something with our group? And you're going to see it, and it's going to flourish. And I'm sure the some black people who live in St. George are going to fucking love it.
That's a great point. It's not a race-based thing. The black people that live in St. George, that's gonna be great.
They're gonna have a great time.
And they're not gonna be the ones who fuck stuff up either, because they have the same mindset as those people, which is you value certain things that other people don't.
Yeah.
And that lady who's opposing it is calling it racist. That's the person that we don't need to be within 10 feet of, the liberal white woman. Mm-hmm. There was actually a meme that kind of sums up her point of view. Can you give it a read?
It says, women live every day in fear of being raped. And then the guy goes, what if we mass incarcerate criminals? Defund the police. What if we limit mass migration? Refugees welcome. What if men can't claim to be women and enter their spaces? Trans rights. What's your solution? Solution?
Yeah, it's no solution. It's just feel-good stuff for an emotionally manipulated woman and homosexuals.
Yeah, I'm looking for a results-oriented, fact-based society that has nothing to do with making sure people feel good.
Yeah.
People can, who makes you feel good? Your mommy, your daddy,
Your success of your children.
Yeah, little things that aren't the responsibility of the government.
You don't need the government to make you feel better about anything.
All right.
All right, last piece of Urban. Muriel Bowser, D.C. mayor. She has she showed us.
Yeah, speaking of poorly run cities that are filled with African Americans.
I think that's really a question for our friends in the media. I know you all have been waiting. You didn't report that we had over a week where violence was down, homicide didn't happen. I know you didn't report that, but that's okay. I'll tell you.
Wow, a whole week of no murders in D.C.?
Muriel, you're doing so good.
Wow, I'm sure there's a body you ain't found yet.
Yeah, there's like a body rotting in a row house somewhere on D.C. right now. That's like, and maybe it's 6 bodies. Maybe it was.
Yeah, it probably was.
But yeah, so she wants a little pat on the head. Good job, Muriel.
For no murders for 1 week.
And I'm sure she has basically 0 policies that are like specifically enacted recently. Like there's no change. She just got lucky for a while.
Yeah. Maybe it rained.
Yeah, it was rainy and it was cold.
Who stayed inside this week?
No, we actually don't know. But yeah, she brags about it. And then it's like, well, if you're bragging about it, then you need to take responsibility when it really, really happens. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't there kind of like, didn't you open up a door there that you are responsible or it's partially on you? So
yeah. And then how's this compare to other weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know statistics like that.
Sorry, Muriel. We still hate you.
All right. Don't get too down or too depressed. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold. We have some really good uplifting stuff.
Okay.
That first clip, let that one rip.
Just got my shit done at bitch nigga. Y'all come check this place out. Just got my shit done by Misha. All right. I'll see y'all later.
That's where the money gets spent. You steal from Target, but you spend the money at Bish.
That's pretty good. There's one of those in Florida near us.
Really?
It's called that. I don't know how to pronounce the NGA word. I don't know.
Nah? It's got to be nah.
Yeah.
Or win. You know how win? Nguyen?
Yeah.
Win?
Nah. It's nah.
Huh.
Bish nah. All right, let's go to our next clip, the Dave and Buster's Gambling. This is good news for those who like to bet and do parlays.
Yeah, Dave and Buster's to allow customers to bet on arcade games.
Fun.
I don't know what to think here.
I don't know either, and I don't know. Is it you versus the person for a set amount of money?
I think so, and I think it's like $5. It's like micro gambling or something.
That's good action, though, and it kind of puts the power in the hand of the person.
I thought we were against gambling on the show.
We are against gambling on the show.
Yeah, and weren't we approached recently by?
Yeah, we were approached.
An advertiser who was inquiring?
By an advertiser who was inquiring. They wanted to do sports betting and fantasy football betting, and we said no because we don't encourage that. We don't encourage gambling on the show.
Yeah, why don't we just mention opioids too? Endorse that.
Yeah, let's endorse the anti-Semitism bill.
Yeah. So, I mean, sports betting, it's obviously... You know, if you're responsible and you're a kind of regular guy, it's okay. It's fun. But a lot of people are getting smoked and taking out personal loans and then consolidating those loans and then hiding their losses and then chasing. And it seems like a lot of white boy, that gambling could derail white boy summer.
Yeah,
so
don't let it.
We are not pro that and we won't take $1 for that.
That's right. We have values and morals.
Yeah.
We run a tight ship.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Can I Draw You guy. This was a good bit.
Can I shake your hand, man? Can I draw you, actually? Can I draw you? I'm an artist.
Nah, not That's pretty good. Look at that haircut.
Yeah. Is he an Amish type?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe just on a little bit of drugs.
Looks like a hard worker to me.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's an Amish type.
Oh, I thought he was more of a drug addict.
Oh, okay.
Who just kind of cuts the hair out of his eyes.
See, with a haircut like that, I had to trend towards Amish. Like, look at him. What do you think? You think he's addicted?
Wow. Look at the tan line.
He looks like he puts up a roof with his boys in 24 hours.
Wow.
Maybe.
All right, let's hey, it is uplifting gold. Let's look at the uplifting potential. He's an Amish.
All
right, let's go to the dolphin catch. This is my favorite clip from the whole show.
Hey, come here. Throw the ball. Flipper. Throw the ball. Oh my God. Yeah, that's buddy. Throw the ball. Hey, buddy. Throw the ball. Here you go. Come here. Oh my God. How cool. Good boy. Good boy. Let's throw it to him. Ready? Catch it.
Good boy.
That's good. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, Flipper likes playing with the ball.
Good thing you got the footage of that because no one would really believe. Oh, I threw the ball and the dolphin threw it back. And it's like, would he kind of push it with his head?
Yeah.
And then this, I don't want to be negative. It is uplifting gold. But if you were playing catch with the dolphin,
okay,
at a certain point, you need to continue your walk.
Yeah.
And then your walk is like better than playing catch with the dolphin.
Yeah.
The dolphin will keep going.
The novelty wears out at a certain point.
You're like, all right, thanks, buddy. See you later. All
right, that's 20 reps. You done?
The dolphin would keep going. But at a certain point, the rest of your day is better than catching with a dolphin.
Okay,
So
that's
something
fair.
to think about.
That's fair.
All right, let's end it with our clap challenge. We've seen the ones where the guy puts his arm out and goes, "Oh, it's a challenge. Go up and over or under for $100," and then people do it. Then he leaves and they're standing around. They did it this time with clapping. This is my favorite kind of bit.
Clap challenge for $100.
Sure, why not?
My arm be out like this. You're gonna clap under and above my arm for 60 seconds with the eyes closed.
Sounds
And
good.
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay.
Ready?
Close my eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And go. Yep. 55 seconds.
I love when they zoom out, too. All right, I'm going to fast forward.
Yep, and then she kind of...
Nobody's there.
Nobody's there. She's just a crazy person. But keep in mind, everyone's going about their day and no one's really paying too much attention to that. So if you're an insecure person, or if you think people are staring at you, or maybe people are looking at your outfit or what, whatever, no one cares. That lady's going like this. And then they just go, "Oh, that person's on drugs."
Fair.
Yeah.
Stuff
like that. All right, that is the end of our main show. We have, because it is Friday, a major shout-out section. First, let's play the clips. Someone shouted us out at Costco. Look what they did. Wow. They have us on all the computers. And they went full volume. That's pretty good.
I love Costco. I love the podcast.
That's as good as it gets.
I love good bits, yeah.
You played every single one. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Someone did a shout out on the tractor on the farm. You come over here. There's tires on the equipment.
Yeah, tire on the tractor. That's a big ass tractor too.
Fleccas Talks on the inside.
Hell yeah, brother.
Wow, that's lit. Frankie McDonald, he's a Instagram personality. He did a shout out for us.
I'm Frank McDonald. You're listening to Fleccas Talks podcast.
And they did another one too.
Cut off and mispronounced.
Hey everybody, my name is Frank McDonald. You're listening to Fleccas Talks podcast from Frank.
They both got cut off and just cut.
Thank you, Frank.
Did you pay for that?
No, I just asked for it.
Okay, all right.
And so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you can't. You have no leg to stand on then.
It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you,
Frankie. Make sure you guys follow Frankie McDonald. He's great. We have some shout outs in general. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Evan Casket. I hope I pronounced it right. April 22nd. Happy birthday, Evan.
Happy birthday. We're
Bonus
late.
Landers, they watch on multiple devices.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Janet Huff. She's turning 77 on May 2nd. Never misses an episode,
I
Janet.
didn't know we had people like that.
Thank you, Mrs. Huff.
Thank you, Mrs. Huff.
I don't say Janet,
Yeah,
happy birthday to Pete. He turned 40 on April 28th.
Okay.
He and his wife, Katie, watch every single episode together.
There you go.
Very grateful for that. That's the best. Happy birthday to Ashley, who's the wife of Rex. Huge show watchers as well. And Ashley gets Rex Fleccas merch every year for his birthday or Christmas.
Wow.
Isn't that
Lovely.
nice?
That's great.
Happy 10-year anniversary to Ashley and Raymond on Saturday. They are bonus landers. And they are also OG Man on the Street watchers. They've been watching Fleccas for a long time.
Ashley and Rex and Ashley and Raymond?
Yeah.
Wow.
We need to get you guys together.
You Ashleys and your R husbands.
Yeah. Hard R husbands. Happy birthday to Carrie on April 29th. Her and her husband also just celebrated their 15th anniversary. So
Wow.
God bless both of you guys. We
God
love
bless.
you. Happy birthday to Adam on May 2nd from us and your wife, Melissa. That's happy birthday to Adam from us and Melissa. May 2nd. Happy
birthday.
And then our second to last birthday shout out. Happy birthday to Adrian Evans on May 4th. It's his 12th birthday.
Adrian, you shouldn't be watching this show.
But hey, we keep it 100, buddy, and
Yeah.
we know you are a good kid. Your mom messaged us. You're very nice. He's got great things going for him.
Yeah.
He has a YouTube channel.
Very nice.
YouTube channel called Golden Gaming God.
Oh.
I just subscribed myself. If you guys want to go subscribe too, go ahead and do it. I'm going to check out your content. Keep up the good work. And if you ever need help with YouTube or anything, you can always message me or have your mom message me on your behalf, and I'll get you set up. And also, DM me, and I'll send you a t-shirt.
Okay.
Last.
You're DM 12-year-olds too much, buddy.
I said your mom.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
Happy birthday to Larry. He turned 31 on April 29th. He also has a power washing business that needs Google reviews.
Larry,
Exquisite Exteriors LLC. Let's hook him up. If you guys are watching at this point, you're huge show watchers. You watch every minute of the show. We're so grateful. Let's support our community of other people who are like that and have small businesses. Exquisite Exteriors LLC. It's linked in the description. Google reviews. They are show watchers. They're loyal to us. We're loyal back to them. It's not paid for. This is just a true, out of the goodness of our hearts, shout out.
Of course.
Let's go leave them some Google reviews to help their business so the people we like can succeed in this world.
there you go.
It's pretty easy. That's the end of the episode. Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleccasMerch.com for the best merch in the game. And if you're watching at this point and you want 30 minutes more show, FleccasTalks.com is the website. 30-minute bonus land dropping right now. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
See ya.
Trying to be inconspicuous. I'm like, oh, okay, my people up in here today.